So here's an example from OpenStax, which is a textbook that I highly recommend for learning pre-algebra and algebra. We use a lot of OpenStax in the counting the calculus framework. So I've written the workbooks that go with the textbooks. So my workbook journals, I should clarify, my journals are not, they don't have any practice problems in them. They just have lined paper and graph paper that corresponds to the lessons from our textbooks or from OpenStax textbooks. We are using the journals as a way to teach people how to take notes. So this is the use the language of algebra section. There's learning objectives, but notice before the lesson, there is be prepared 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. What they're saying is you should know how to do this before you learn the topic before you. This is key because learning the prerequisites before learning the topic will change your math history, like your math journey. You have to learn the topics before the current topic in order to do well in the current topic. I want to encourage you moving forward in your math journey. Always learn the topic before or review it before you start the new topic. It's kind of like when you go to shoot to play a basketball game. You have to warm up, right? But you also have to check, do I have the necessary dribbling skills before I start playing as a point guard? You need a prerequisite for that. So parents, let's remind students, teachers, let's remind students to learn the prerequisites. You can also use AI. You could prompt AI to give you the prerequisites. I made a separate video which you can find on our website. Actually, I'm going to show you that video quickly, or that list quickly. This is a list that I've made that you can use as a guide to basically show you how to do problems, right? We need to stop thinking of math as a grade based learning subject and start thinking of it as a mastery based subject. People should move at the speed of their mastery. When you've mastered what you need to know, then you move to the next topic, and then but you have to also have the notes from all the topics you're learning, right? This is what we're doing that is different. We're saying you need the notes. And that's where we've created the journals, right? What we have on Amazon is the journals. So I'm just going to type it in here. There's a journal list that we have, and this journal is basically showing you how, a place to take notes. So these are journals. They are not textbook. I mean, they're not. There's no practice problems in them. There's a whole section of review and things that you need to know in order to do well in math. There's a lot of good stuff at the end of the book, and also in the beginning of the book, I tell a little bit of an introduction and give you the table of contents. But the table of contents is following standard textbooks or using AI as a model to be able to basically take notes. These are supposed to be used as a note taking tool. The questions can come from your AI prompt, they can come from your textbooks, and some of these textbooks can be used with any resource. So I want to encourage you to use these journals to take notes. Notice that we have chemistry and physics and economics. Why? Because we need to show the applications of mathematics, and that's where we get those from. So there's textbooks that follow these journals. There are no practice problems in the journals, but the journals are supposed to then be kept from year to year so you can go back and review what you've learned. Okay. OpenStax is the main textbook that I recommend for my classes that I teach. So you can use their textbook. You can use some of the resources we put together. Okay, back to our master list. We have a master list of all the concepts from basic math all the way to calculus 3, and we can even help you get to differential equations. We have Isaac Newton's book, Leonard Euler's book. So when you use counted calculus, you're getting a very deep understanding of math to the point that you're going to be building AI models. I mean, that's just what's going to happen if you want. And then you also can use the OpenStax books. As I said, this is a pre-algebra book. They have the prerequisites. They have the examples here for you. They have some key definitions. These are some of the things you should be writing in your journal. The journals that I showed, you should write some of these examples in your journal and then do the try it problems. That will teach you how to really master the concepts. And then lastly, at the end of the chapter, they also give you practice problems. There's some practice problems. Sorry, it's way at the end. So you have the practice problems. They say practice makes perfect. I would say deliberate practice makes perfect, and that's another day's topic we'll talk about soon. So yeah, there's examples for you. There's practice problems for you, and then also there's one thing here I thought that was interesting that they also do across the book, and this is where we show you practical, real life examples of what you're learning. Notice that they are using cars and miles per gallon as an example to show What car like, does the miles per gallon of a Prius, is that less than or greater than the miles per gallon, of a Mini Cooper? The answer is it's greater than. So you put the greater than sign. But notice that they are showing you a practical application of the topic. This is another way you can make math more accessible to people. Teachers, we can show people the applications of mathematics, but they still need to learn the mechanics of mathematics. They need the mechanics, and they need the applications, and they need the history. They need all of the above. So I hope this is helpful. Look forward to making more videos about resources to help students flourish in mathematics. Take care and have a blessed day.